Good morning. It is just after 9 UTC on Monday, the 5th of August. And yeah, wow, what an incredible, awesome down move that we've had. Liquidated over 1 billion in longs on Bitcoin specifically. Just taking a look here, this is all taken out now, obviously. All of these longs down to where we bounced at, which is actually the liquidity gap at 49K. So, with that being said, now major targets to the downside are 46K and 42K for potential continuation. There's no evidence that we're seeing a major bounce. Nothing would even constitute a potential regain until we start getting back above 55, 55.8, some of these levels. But that being said, with the major flush out, it looks like people are still trying to long this, trying to go back to the upside. So is the pain over? There's no evidence of it yet. So the continuation that we talked about on Friday to the downside on break of level, that's still playing out. Looking at the RSI heat map, just to look at a couple different alts that are doing pretty decent as far as like negative funding rates. Negative funding rates, of course, incentivizing longs. Positive funding rates, incentivizing shorts. TIA is a standout right here just because of how negative the funding rates are. Pretty interesting to look at. Also, just kind of like altcoin RSI heat map. There's a couple that are kind of standing out. Render, of course, like one of my favorites as far as like utility. Definitely something to look to. TIA render, just kind of on the altcoin side as interest. Also, looking at the long short ratios here, obviously, even into the continuation downside, people continuing to try and long this structure, which is wild. Um, we're seeing the first kind of major flip that we've seen probably since Saturday. We're seeing some more shorts starting to come in locally as people are, basically the longs getting completely and utterly destroyed in the downside move. Now trying to flip short. Let's see if that plays out. We want the shorts to start to build. We want the short ratio to go back to 1-to-1, so 50% long short at least. That's more likely to have a continuation up move if that's the case. But again, what we need to do there is start trapping those localized shorts. In any case, looking over at trading light to look at some of the resting orders, we're now seeing on lower time frames some support coming in around 50K to potentially hold stuff. Only been in for about 2 hours or so, but there's no real major gains here that seem attractive at all. The first kind of major gain that would be interesting would be 54K. We could argue about this level just because that's the local like lower time frame flip that would continue us potentially to regain stuff. But yeah, looking at the footprint as well, the rest of the actual orders we have, getting back above 54.5, getting back, putting some of these shorts out of position. That's kind of like the first potential we could see for a reversal. All of the shorts are going completely unpunished in the downside move. It's been test fail all the way to the downside. So with that, basically we have tons and tons of short liquidity, but we need to be able to access it. Again, 54.4, 54.5. This is the area that starts to get interesting if we could start regaining some of these levels. But for right now, there's no real evidence that we're even going to get a bounce until we start regaining that. I think that would be the first kind of move that could get us a test into the high 58s, potentially. The higher time frames obviously destroyed. We understand that. This is what we talked about with the break of structure that we saw from a couple of weeks ago. This is really just, if you look at the higher time frame here, that failure from the 5th, 6th of July broke the structure, bearish retest, and then completely nuked off a cliff, which is great. In any case, resting short orders. There are people in position here. Shorts are still obviously in command of the structure, so I wouldn't go against it until we start seeing some type of regain. Looking over at the charts for the general plan here. So we are in the sideways and fear zone. This is basically very, very much unattractive. Not really looking for much until, like I said, we get that regain 54.4, 54.5. Maybe get some weekly open retests as well. We're definitely seeing a very, very strong downside move. That's still the potential. If we do start breaking this stuff, as if people continue trying to long this structure for some reason, then we should be seeing that continuation. Old yearly opens 46K looks attractive. Also, our yearly open is all the way down at 42K. So lots and lots and lots of support here. If we do start breaking back down to this zone, likely to see some type of like immediate bounce. Even here, I wouldn't be surprised from some kind of bounce. Again, this is a trappy sideways area full of fear. So what the plan is very simple. We are looking for potential upside retests on the regain of level. right? We actually need to regain some of this structure. Until we see any type of regain of level, every priority is down. This is what we talked about on Friday, right? When we lost the 63.7, which breaks the high time frame upside trend, bearish retest off a cliff. If we continue to failure, we target 60K. That continues to fail, continue lower. Every single one of these levels has been really cleanly retested for continuation of the downside. So that's still the priority. That's still the direction of travel here. This is the sideways fear zone. To trade this really simply, what I would do is put an alert around 54.5K. Just, add a horizontal alert, and the same thing is like 51.7. Until then, you're in this like sideways range. Good luck scalping. It's going to be pretty nuts. But yeah, that is it. Let's see if we can get some market stabilization and some potential direction. But for right now, this is an area where you're still looking to take profit on those shorts, and if you're looking at spot bags, potentially start DCAing in some stuff, as we are trading at a massive discount than we were on Friday. So that's that. Take it easy. Catch you tomorrow.